Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, regular viewers of the channel will be very familiar with how I feel about Final Fantasy VII, that it's one of the best RPGs ever made. I've got pretty much every single flavour of it. We've got it on PS1, we've got promo copies, we've got Japanese copies, we've got a weird international version that was sold to Japanese people living abroad. So we've got many, many, many different versions of it. But what we're here to look at today, this one. So, this is from 1998, and it is the big box PC release. And yes, it is in English, for this was a PAL release. Published by Eidos Interactive, who were the... how can I put this? So they're probably best known for doing the early Tomb Raider games, Eidos are, or at least that's what I know them from. They're still going. I couldn't tell you anything they've done lately, to be honest, but... who cares? Because this is Final Fantasy VII, and there is Cloud Strife himself. If you're not familiar with Final Fantasy VII, it is a role-playing game by Squaresoft. It is about this bloke and his mates, and they have to save the world from another bloke who's not so good, which is pretty par for the course. So, in the box... Eidos Interactive, please register your thing. Attention, database marketing. What type of computer do you have? 286, 386, 486, or Pentium? That really is a throwback. What console do you have? Do you have a Sega Saturn? Do you have a Nintendo Ultra 64? Or a PlayStation? Those are your choices. That's all you're getting in 1998. And if we're very lucky, we could win thousands of pounds worth of manga prizes. And there's Cloud again with his haircut off. Just for a laugh. The final challenge. What can we win? Vampire Wars, Sword of Truth, Akira. Oh, I love Akira. I went to the cinema to see the 4K remaster of Akira in Japanese recently, and it was excellent and worth every penny. And Ghost in the Shell, which is perfectly fine. Anyway, what's this burb? Cloud, is that you? Are you ready for an extra challenge? God. Oh dear, I love 90s big box stuff. So yeah, this was released on PC about a year after it came out on PlayStation. In fact, here is the blurb that tells us about it being now on PC. Final Fantasy VII, now for the PC. Before beginning your adventure, please ensure your system has the most recent video and audio drivers installed. These are included on the install CD. Final Fantasy VII supports the following 3D accelerators: 3DFX Voodoo, 3DFX Voodoo 2, which is the one I had, 3DFX Voodoo 3, no, Voodoo Rush, sorry, which is a Voodoo 2 but different, 3D Labs Permedia 2, couldn't tell you what that is, ATI Rage Pro, I had 3 of them, every single one of them failed, Intel i7-40, so not an i7, that's not a first gen i7, that's something other more different, or a PowerVR Extreme. If your CD-ROM drive is auto-run enabled, oh man, CD-ROM drives. Yeah, so this is even sort of pre-DVD really. Here we go. Final Fantasy VII is designed to take full advantage of the advanced features of the Intel Pentium class processor. Owners of older non-Intel processors that are not 100% Intel compatible may experience problems running this application. So what that means is it doesn't work for Toffee on Cyrix processors, which also don't run Quake and things very well. If you don't know what a Cyrix processor is, I'll put a link probably in the description, but Nostalgia Nerd did a fantastic video series on what a Cyrix processor is and how it was killed off. Anyway, this is what's in the box. Ah, yes. Hello, Cloud. Come out, me old mate. Oh, yep. Kicks. Fair enough. I assume that's who manufactured the thing. So, Final Fantasy VII on PC. If we grab one of the PlayStation copies, it's the same kind of case, but with different artwork. In fact, it might well be the same case, but with different artwork. Yeah, so the PC version, you get this cloud artwork instead of the main logo big, and the logos are slightly different colours. On the back, very, very different indeed. So, on the PlayStation 1, you get some screenshots of Cloud and Aerith, and some battle things, and an Ifrit, and some snowboarding, and your ESRB ratings, oh no, ELSPA ratings, sorry, because it's early 90s. Yeah, and a bit of blurb about Shinra. On the PC one, however, this is all much nicer. So you get Sid's Plain and Tiffer's Bar and something, possibly the Submarine Bay that you're never going to make out, and Cloud and Aerith and an underwater bit of something, maybe the Gold Saucer, and that bit. So that bit is important because that was from the original PC demo. That specific scene, in fact, the original PC demo came with What PC magazine is out as distributed in the UK. And it was that small section of... now you're asking, maybe the Niflheim reactor, possibly? Anyway, if you're familiar with Final Fantasy VII, you'll probably know all this. So, what I'm going to read you is the blurb off the back. The biggest game ever! A heck of an achievement! A game that everyone should own, says PC Zone. Which is very, very true, because Final Fantasy VII is excellent. An evil and powerful corporation is slowly draining life from the planet in an effort to control the universe. However, a small rebellion, known as Avalanche, has vowed to put an end to this destructive plan. You take the role of Cloud Strife, blah blah blah, evil Shinra Corporation. So, this is a little bit different to the PlayStation blurb. So, the Shinra Corporation is draining the planet, blah, blah, blah. We play a cold-hearted mercenary. We accept a mission from some eco-warriors. So, it's been refined a little bit for the PC release. Explore massively, beautifully rendered locations in this amazing adventure that goes beyond reality. Team up with and play a total of 9 characters. Battle deadly creatures created by Shinra in this state-of-the-art real-time turn-based battle system. Over 60 minutes of cinematic sequences. Challenge yourself in the 7 mini-games and several sub-quests. Oh dear, so back when we weren't calling side quests side quests. So mini-games and sub-quests. So yeah, this came out 1 year after. Pretty much exactly 1 year after the PlayStation release, actually. Because it was right at the start of 1998. And for the discs... oh man, they look lovely. Yes, you've got your install discs and your play discs. So English Disc 1, English Disc 2, and sadly they all have the same art. So on the Black Label PlayStation releases, case is coming apart, they have this, they're white and you get this nice, printed surface on it, and then it's etched out for the Meteor. And they are all rather like this. Oh, there's the Final Fantasy VIII demo. Right. So, manuals. Actually, what are they like on the international release? So on the international release, they're blue with the chocobo, which is very nice, and the manual again. Are they all blue with the chocobo? No, the international release comes with Perfect Guide. And the original Japanese release is, yep, similar but different again. So they're white, but they are, it's not etched. The lettering's etched instead, which is actually really, really nice. And they're all sort of the same, except that one has the airship on it, and that one has a chocobo. Yeah, so a lot of variation with the Final Fantasy discs. Let me just check this other release. Anything different? No, that's the same. Not to worry. Okay, so manuals is what we're interested in. This is the PC one. This is the PlayStation one. In the PlayStation 1, obviously you have PlayStation controls and the like, but it is the descriptions of the characters that we're interested in. So the characters. During the game you will encounter characters in the story, because that's how stories work. However, depending on how you play, you may not be able to befriend some of the characters. That's kind of complete rubbish. So the only character you can't find is Vincent Valentine, I believe. Who isn't in here? Oh yeah, there he is. So, okay, so Vincent and Yuffie, they're just side quests. Of course you can recruit them, it doesn't have any bearing on how you play. The following characters, the following are the main characters in the game. So, here we go. Let's have a look at Eris Gainsborough. Young, beautiful, and somewhat mysterious, Eris met Cloud while selling flowers on the streets of Midgar. Interestingly, Eris is meant to be a mistranslation. It's supposed to be Aerith, I believe. But we've been over this in the video where we looked at the figures from Final Fantasy VII. This is one from the remake. This is some AliExpress Chinese knockoff thing, but it's pretty good. And they've released some blocky ones from the original game now, but Square want like £40 for the whole set, and that is far too much for a bit of plastic. So, let's have a look. Getting started. Oh yeah, in the PC one they've used this awful bloody font that you can't read anything. You must have Windows 95 installed on your system. You must have a Pentium 166 MHz. otherwise it won't work. Yeah, so this font is horrific for the whole manual, and there's almost no punctuation in it, and it's all written in block capitals, and they're all faded, and it's awful. This is interesting. This says something about using Yamaha box on sound cards, and you must tick this for MIDI synthesized music, and that's all very interesting, but I can't stand to read it because it's horrific. So where is the character stuff? Here we go. So here are the character things. The characters. During the game you will encounter friends and other important characters in the story. However, depending on how you play, you may not be able to befriend some of these characters. So yeah, the same rubbish in there. Where are we? So Eris, again, young, beautiful and somewhat mysterious, blah blah blah, except it's just awful. The manual's awful. You can't read anything, and all the pictures are like a little bit too low res. So if we go back to this one and put them side by side, Eris is all faded and washed out, which is a real shame. I'm not even convinced it's the same model. In fact, it isn't the same model. It's the in-game model. Yeah, so the PlayStation manual is quite considerably nicer. Not just because you can read it, but because the model's different in it. Which is cool. This one for Cloud is particularly hilarious. Yeah, anyway, I'll stop laughing to myself. Right, so let's grab a Japanese manual. Ooh. Here are some Japanese slip cards for something. Right, so the Japanese manual, full colour, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The Japanese manual is. Obviously, it's in Japanese, so we read it the other way round. Here's the airship. Here's some colours. Here's Cloud on a chocobo. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. The Japanese manual is. You even get some concept art and things in here, just to add a bit of local colour, and it explains everything pretty well, from party switching to what all the buttons do, to how to remap the controls, to what to do. Sadly, I can't read Japanese, not a single little bit of it. I've tried for many years to learn some basic Japanese, but it just doesn't sink in. There's some materia. This is how to junction your materia. Right, come on, where's the character stuff? More, please. Oh, okay, so there's no character stuff in this manual. There's Barrett and Marlene in Aerith's church. Yeah, so there's no character stuff in the Japanese manual, other than this page. This is much nicer. Look at this. So, here's the original PlayStation one. That's fine. Here's the PC one. That's absolute rubbish. And then look at this Japanese one. Full colour spread. It's even got Sephiroth in it. And it's just lovely. So yeah, the Japanese one's absolutely worth it if you like looking at manuals. But wait, there is one more. Let's have a look at the international manual. So here is another thing that comes with the international manual. Again, full colour. Here is some stuff that's going down. Here is a nice world map. Here are some locations. Here is some other stuff. Making file. Making movie. Right, so in the other more different Japanese one, we get different character pictures again. So these are all sort of face close-ups, and you will notice on these they've all got mouths. That is because the international version, I don't know why, seems to be based off the PC port, where characters have mouths. In the 3D models, obviously on the PS1, the detailed models do have mouths, but the field models don't. But on the PC version, biggest difference, they all have mouths. I don't know if I can actually show you that from any of the screenshots. Let me see if there's a screenshot on the back of the box that shows off the mouths. No, there is not. No, you can't even tell. But yeah, if you run close to the camera, characters blink and they've all got mouths drawn on the models, on their textures, which is great. Anyway, yeah, international manual, super nice. Again, different to the standard Japanese manual, different to the PlayStation manual, and different to the PC manual. I suspect, even though this is all in Japanese, if you could read Japanese, you could read this. Not like this nonsense with its awful fonts. Anyway, PC manual, really, really hefty, thicker than any of the other manuals. Obviously it includes the setup and installation instructions and things, rather than just put it in the machine and play. But it also includes things like entering names, shopping, how to do items, how to escape from a battle. It also includes, here we go, conditions, such as sleep and petrify and sadness, which is very interesting, because these aren't included in some of the other manuals. What else have we got? Armour, here we go. So armour is one of these things that makes no sense in Final Fantasy VII, because it works differently across every character and every piece of equipment. But on the PC one, it just says, when a character is equipped with armour, the defence, magic events, and their percentage will change. Yep. Armour equipped in the same fashion as weapons. Excellent. But yeah, what a very, very nice thing it is. I know we've ended up looking at other Final Fantasy versions, but for my money, the PC is still one of the best. Because if you've got a copy of this original PC version, there's plenty of mods that exist for it, and people are still supporting it even now. Oh, I'm getting all mixed up with my Japanese manuals now. Oh yeah, the international version. The Japanese international version, rather. Come on, focus, there we go. It says international on it, just for a laugh. And the boxes are the more different again. It shows Emerald weapon? Okay, one of the big boss guys, Emerald weapon on the back, and it's got Zack as well. Here is Zack. And it's the only screenshot that shows the location markers. So when you press select on the PlayStation gamepad, it shows these location markers to exit where you need to go in a scene, so you can leave it. But yeah, international version, very interesting indeed. For Japan only, not for filthy Westerners. But yes, what a nice thing are they. Okay, let's have one quick look at the back of the box. No, that's it. That is all we're getting. So, Final Fantasy VII for PC, eh? That's it for another week.
Subscribe.